going to try putting these pages on again. My internet just quit working, and that's why the video stopped. So we'll make this in 2 sections. And this one was already glued, so I ended up putting it on. But we'll just start on the second one. And this is the page we actually made showing you how to make the pocket. And I'm going to make a little tag and on both sides. And I'm just going to whip through these pages and attach them. Not much comment, it's all the same. Putting a little bit of glue on the bottom part and then smushing it together, whoops, a little bit so that there's adhesive added to double-sided tape just to make it more secure. Just gently push those together so it's on both sides of the paper. I'm going to place it over the hinge. So line it up before I secure it. It's essentially lining up to the bottom of the tape. It doesn't go all the way to the base, but it's flexible enough to go all the way to the base. And just make sure it's sort of square for the last page. I'm going to start from the top. I usually start from the back. Let's see. I see it straight, so I'm going to pull out my tape on this side, turn it over, pull out my tape liner. It's not pulling out my tape. Making sure it's straight with the last page, the bottoms line up, and burnishing it. Got a little bit of extra glue there, just wipe it off to both sides. Make sure it's secure. And just wipe the glue off. So this was page 6, page 5, and now we'll do 4. It's actually 12 pages if you think about it, because they're 2-sided. But we'll do a walkthrough when I'm finished decorating. This is one album I'm actually very excited about adding the pictures to. We had so much fun at Louisville Zoo with all 10 grandchildren. And then directly after that, to get a break from the 10 grandchildren, my husband took me on an overnight to go to the outlet mall and go see lights at Louisville Zoo. And it was one of the most fun occasions, or fun dates we had, going at night and seeing all the lanterns they made of all different cloth animals like that lit up, and it was really, really beautiful. Pulling the tape out, burnishing it down, making sure it's straight. It's lined up, so I'm just pulling the tape out. So once this gets rolling, these pages go in easier. Now I have decorated after making the pages before, but I find decorating first is easier on the decorating part. It's easier to do things flat than it is to do them in the book. Now this page I actually had a little trouble with, and I'll explain that in my walkthrough. The bottom is not lined up on one of my fold-out pages. This is a double fold-out, one vertical and one horizontal. This is a very thick page. Let's see, I guess it's almost in the center of the book. And I added a hook, or a clamp, to help keep it lined up. And I'll explain that. It was easier than fixing it. If that makes any sense. So again, I'm just lining it up so the pages are even. Oop, that one fell off. Try again. This is my thickest page. It's going to be my hardest page. So I'm sliding it over the hinge. It's sliding off. Okay. Lining up the bottom and the top. Looks pretty good. Pulling out my tape liner. This one's giving me trouble, probably because of its fatness or thickness. I shouldn't call it fat. Let's see. Burnishing that well, flipping it over. Let's see if I can get that out of there. All that tape is still in there. I think I forgot to flip out the tape. There we go. Now I am going to open this, see if I can burnish it better. Very thick page. I think I'll open this side too. This has got flip-flaps in it and pockets in it and all sorts of things. And so I'm going to put that clamp back on. We have 2 more pages to go. This one's a nice flat page, even though it has a fold out and pockets. It's flatter than the last one. So find the back of the page, run a line with glue, bottom, squeeze it together so it's on both sides, and then over the page. It does help to take the flap off first. You can find it better. And remember, I cut these all at an angle on the end, so they go over the edge easy. It's just a little bit smaller than the page that way. Looks pretty good. Take off the liner, lost it again. Maybe putting liquid glue and the liner isn't the best idea. We shall see. I'm loving making these albums. It's a little different, putting things on before you have your pictures ready. I'm not actually picking out my photos till today, and probably do that during the Zoom class tomorrow. Start attaching photos. There's quite a bit of room in this album because of the pockets to add photos, and I added flip-flaps from close to my heart. And there's pockets and lots of different ways to add photos. So I think we'll get a lot of photos, and I think this album will get a lot of use from the 10 grandchildren that went to the zoo with us. I think it was our first encounter after Corona isolation with all the kids together, and it was quite an event. Okay, let's see. Got to find the inside of the pocket. When you have a lot of linings, you do have to make sure you find the inside of the pocket. There we go. You don't want to glue the wrong thing down. I'm just putting a thin layer of glue. You want to have, I might have to, some of the glue on a little deeper. I'm just pressing it down so it's on both sides. So I might have to cut off a little bit of the pockets, or the page inserts. We shall see when we come to that. Sliding it over my last hinge, which is my first hinge. And lining it up. I'm not sure if this is going to be the straightest album, but it's definitely a cute album. Okay, that looks pretty straight. Down a little bit more. I'm going to take off that edge. I'm going to open up my cuckoo there. Oh, I guess it's not cougar. I guess it's a leopard. I don't know what it is. My husband said cougars don't have spots. And then the back side. Ah, I pulled too far. There we go. Back on. Trying to get this straightened with the inside isn't always the easiest thing. Easy, but not easiest. And that's the third liner I have removed. So if I find any of these pockets are not secure enough, I will just go to the hinge area and add some more liquid glue. But I'm going to wait to let this dry to see what is secure. Okay, let's try this one. Looks straight. Oh, looks a little crooked. There we go. That looks better. Before I burnish it well, check the side. And that looks good. And I think we have it. Stand it up and see what we see. Okay. Not perfectly level, but not bad. Now the fun part of this is I now have some inserts I made, and each pocket page gets an insert. Let's see. I'm not going to put them all the way in right now because I want to make sure they don't get attached to the glue pocket. Let's see. But I will just slide it partially in, I think. There we go. First page. Second page. And you can decorate these any way you want. And I think the album spine will give you enough room to put pictures on both sides of your insert. And I'm going to think of putting acetate over them also. That one's a little tight, so I might, after this dries, this is the very thick page. It's probably tight because of this, I'm not sure. So this one I might cut down the page a little bit. We'll see when we add the pictures. Okay, this is the page we did today. I have a double decoration on that one. It's almost easier the thicker they are for movement. Now the page we did today, I also wanted to show you. So I have a little flap on that one. I made a little booklet, it's 4 pages, so 8 sides with some of the small cutaways. And I thought I would add that floral book to the page rather than keep it separate. One thing about children's albums is they like the interaction. They like flipping things around, finding hidden pictures of themselves in pockets, that sort of thing. So I find the more interactive you can make it for the young children, the more they enjoy looking at it. And because I'm going to permanently put this on a page, I'm also going to add a little bit of glue in the blank spots and the corners. There we go. There's words here. It says tropical and subtropical plants. This is just waxed linen. I'm going to put it so that tropical plant still shows. And get it straight. Put my last page there. and photos can be added to that too. So I made a belly band here. I've never made a belly band before. I'm not sure how I'm going to use it, but you can put things in the belly band. You can put things in the pockets. I'm going to wait till I have my photos till I decide. But there's also little pockets here and bigger pockets so that you can add things with. And I'll decide if it needs more lining on the black. You can put photos on the mats. Or you can put photos right on your pages. This is the one that's crooked, and I see it crooked more. This one I think is going to permanently have that little hook on it to keep it straight. I didn't know after I made it how to fix it. It has flip-flaps in here that can hold 3x4 photos and has a lot on it. It looks almost better with the alligator covered up because that way it doesn't look crooked. So I'm just going to straighten it out, and it's just a little crooked on the bottom. But you can do whatever you want. And that's also the page is a little tight. And I have some giant flip-flops here. And I was considering adding, I don't know if this will be a photo page or if it'll be an added picture. Not sure yet. Cute little sloth. This one, I think I'm just putting a photo or journaling under here. It's just one flap. And the book we just added. And oh look, this is going to need some adhesive because once this was attached, this didn't stay tight. So I'll tighten that. That's the one we just glued on. Maybe a skinny teeny piece of double-sided tape will hold that down so it won't move around. I had just laid them together. I had not attached them in any way, but looks like too much movement, so I will put just a little piece of skinny tape there. Burnish that down, and then we'll make a fold so that will stay put. Just have to change. There we go.